Good morning. All mornings are good, some just more than others. You start the day with a clean slate of sorts, and there are so many ways that we can bless others in their lives as we go through our day. Another day behind the wall today. It will only be half a day for me as I need to go and do other things at lunchtime. There I was, sitting in my easy chair, and I thought, I can hear machinery on the drive. I was expecting Pete the digger man and his digger and truck today, so that wasn't a complete surprise. Here he is now, putting the shingle behind the wall. We had a quick discussion about how deep I wanted the shingle, and then with some of it I helped guide him as to how much where, because from the seat of his digger he can't actually see where the shingle is landing. I'll come back to you once the first truckload is done. In the meantime, enjoy the music. As you can see, Pete turned up with his digger and then went away and got one truckload of shingle, so that's about 4 cubic meters, and we have put that in, or he has put it in, and I've moved it around a bit. He has gone away to get the second load. I calculated we needed about 8 cubic meters altogether, so that will do the job. Once he comes back we will carry on, and then the fabric needs to go on top of the shingle, and then we'll put the clay on top of that. I'm reasonably happy with the way it's working out. You can see there are 5 boards above the shingle here, and in total there are 8 boards. So the first board is where the Nova Flow is, and the P-metal, and then the fabric on top of that, and then the next 2 boards are now covered with this shingle, which is about what I wanted as a minimum. I did a very quick calculation. So the wall is 35 meters long, so to make easy sums I said, well, let's make it 500 deep and 500 wide as an average. Now you can tell probably from here that this is quite a bit more than 500 wide at this point, but it's narrower than 500 up towards the top end. And so we should be able to get at least 400 high, which is 2 boards, all the way up. That's the plan. It's a little bit low down there. I will probably, once we've filled all the way up to the top, I may get him to come down and put a bit more down here, but we will see what we have left in the truck at that point. Okay, that's it for now. Just need to wait for him to come back with the next load. A couple of people have asked me about the little tripod that I use quite a lot. So it's a little jobby. It's a jobby one, and it has, the important bit is to get this ball head on the top of it, because that enables you to swing it around wherever. Yeah, I use it a lot. It's a great little tripod. Not suitable obviously for putting a big DSLR on or anything like that, but ideal for the GoPro or for the Pocket or similar sized cameras. It would probably cope okay with a mirrorless camera weight. You would just need to make sure that you had a leg out the front under any lens just to support that. But there it is. I was admiring Pete's digger. It's certainly a great digger. I'll pop up there actually and show you why I think that. And he loves it because of the flexibility of it. So on the basic ones, the mount for the arm is fixed at the front, whereas this one he can swing it right around the side, and then, which means of course that he can dig and lift right up to the track, and also he can lift, the arm can go back so that the bucket's basically over the top of the cab. It is a true, what they call zero turn digger. Yeah, a great machine. Pete returned with the second load of shingle and carried on, this time starting from the top and working back down. As the job progressed, it became obvious that ideally we could have done with 12 cubic metres of shingle in total rather than the 8 that I had organised. But I just spread it out as best I could to make the best of what we had. Once all the shingle was in, I set about laying the part roll of fabric that I had, while Pete loaded the first lot of clay onto his truck from down on the berm at the bottom of the drive. As you can probably see, I stapled the fabric to the back of the wall and then pinned it down with weed mat pins on the bank side. The pins probably weren't strictly necessary, but I wanted to make sure that the fabric stayed where we had laid it until the soil was on top of it. The fabric at the lower part of the wall won't have any fill on it for a number of weeks in all likelihood. We deliberately placed what clay we had starting at the top end of the wall. This is because we know that when we do the top wall, there will be quite a lot of material that will come down from down the slip to the lower retaining wall and fill that area down there. We came to a point where we had placed as much clay as we could because the fabric that I had run out. Darius came with what he thought we needed, but it was the wrong thing, and so he had to go back to the supplier to get the correct material. Not entirely his fault. There was a miscommunication with the supplier which led to a misunderstanding as to what was required. While we waited for him to return with the fabric, and so Pete wasn't standing around, I asked him to remove 4 feed-ewer stumps from up beside my workshop, where we are going to build another wall. This has subsequently enabled me to make a start on the prep for Warren and his team to come and build that wall. A number of the poles for that wall will be quite deep in the ground. We won't know how deep until we have bored the holes. Some of that area was filled more than 30 years ago, so until we bore down, we don't know how far we need to go to find something solid. The wall won't be very high above ground, but we need to make sure it's going to stay where we build it, as it will be a parking area for potentially heavy vehicles in the distant future. Once Darius returned, we were able to carry on laying the fabric. It's much quicker when there are 2 of you doing it. And then Pete placed the rest of the clay that we had available behind the wall. This is where we progress to with the clay. As you can see, there is quite a gap down there that doesn't have any, but that's a good thing because there will be quite a bit that comes down from up there when we bore those holes and do other things. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased I put the pins in because with wind and things we could end up with that fabric folding over, which I don't really want to happen. And so I'll swing back around here, and it's probably hard for you to tell, but you know, we're still 3 or 4 boards down from the top, which is fine. This clay will settle quite a lot, and especially as we get a bit more rain on it, and that's fine. So ooh. The top board on this wall makes for a very good sitting place. I think that's it for today. I'm pleased with the progress that was made, and yeah, it means that we can carry on and tidy a few other things and make progress up the top in preparation for the other, not the wall up by the workshop. So I'll see you next time. Bye.